I am yet again about to destroy someone's hard work in The Sims 4. A friend of mine and another YouTuber called Miss Griffey just built this disheveled beach shack for Fixer Upper. Oh my god, I was so excited when I saw they made this. I think that Miss Griffey is like one of my favorite builders in The Sims 4. Some people are just so good at this, like unbelievably talented and just so good at using debug and stuff, and this house is a prime example of that. It's literally just like a tiny beach shack. Like, it's only worth like 25,000 simoleons. It's one bedroom, but it looks so good. Like, I love the exterior of this house, and all the detail with the debug is just amazing. So here's the story. This beach shack is a bit disheveled. Not sure what happened to the previous owners, but the place has seriously gone downhill. It sat around for years, but at only 23,000 simoleons, someone finally snatched it up. Should they bulldoze and start over, or try to renovate this and rent it out for good money? The sunroom and location can't be beat. We've got 15,000 for renovations. If only someone could help. And I loved this. Also, it kind of has a tiny budget, so I was a little bit worried going into it. I was like, only 15K? How am I gonna do this? Granted, it's a small house, but in my mind, this guy, he's just a random sim from Cass. I didn't make anybody, don't worry. But in my mind, this guy, he like bought it as an investment property. He's trying to make it into an Airbnb. And so he's gonna renovate it and rent it out in that way. But let's do a quick tour of the house. And Miss Griffey actually made a speed build of this, so I'll link that down below. Honestly, go watch the speed build because it's better than this video. So anyway, here's the house. I think all the debug items are placed so well. Like, I love how even just the stairs look. Like, I never would have thought to put like this thing on top of the stairs. I just wouldn't have considered this sort of thing. Also, look at this, like the bathtub being placed in that pile so it looks like a bathtub full of sand. All the broken down, like broken fences and stuff, the trash. It just is so well done. Even as like a washed up boat, there's graffiti and like scratches all over the walls. If you look closely, you can see a gravestone back there. The description was like, not sure what happened to the previous owners. Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I think they're still here. And then on the inside of the house, again, it's pretty small, but you walk into the kitchen, which is also a little bit disheveled. It's like broken down and stuff. Are those aliens? Oh god. There's like spider webs and stuff. Just the detail. There's like a little hallway that takes you into the living room. There's that sunroom we were talking about back here. Also full of sand somehow. There's a bathroom off this room, which I thought was so clever because we've got this like bathtub and there was a leak and they've tried to like block the leak with a plunger. I thought that was hilarious. And then there's just a small ladder up to the upstairs and it's just got a tiny little bedroom up here. The level of detail is unbelievable. I'm just not this good. Like, I'm not this creative when it comes to building in The Sims. And so now we're going to just take away all of the hard work put into this house and make it worse. So let's jump right on into the renovation, shall we? The first thing I did was like delete everything. I went and I tried to delete all the graffiti, all of the scratches on the walls, all of the vines hanging on the walls, a lot of the trash. Like, I went in and tried to clear out all of that stuff. I deleted everything on the inside. I feel like it was kind of a total gut job as far as that goes. Like, you couldn't really keep most of that furniture. It was like spooky day stuff covered in like rags and stains. Like, we couldn't have kept those things. I did keep the floor plan pretty much exactly the same. I opened up a couple of the walls. Like, I opened up a wall in the kitchen. I opened up a wall in that like little sunroom area because I figured, like, you know, if you were to renovate a house for real, that's probably a thing that you would do, is maybe consider trying to open up some of the walls and make it seem a little bit more open and airy in there. I also moved the fireplace, which realistically isn't something you would do probably in a house like this. If you only have $15,000 to put into a renovation, you're probably not going to move a fireplace. I bet that would cost like 15K just in general. In real life, to like figure out the chimney and fix all of that, yeah, we don't have that kind of money sitting around. But I did also put on a deck in the back of the house. I liked the idea of having a deck back there and like a staircase down to the beach from the back. Because if it's going to be a beach house, I mean, it's not a real beach. It's in Brindleton Bay. But like, if it's going to be a beach house, you'd want to have easy access to the beach from both the front and back of the house, right? So I made sure we had that back there. I didn't move the house on the lot. I feel like it maybe would have been a little bit more effective to like move the house forward on the lot and have a bigger deck back there. But I decided that I didn't want to move the house completely, because listen, if we're trying to do fixer upper and we're trying to be like realistic with our renovations, we can't just like pick up the house and move it forward a foot, you know? Like, it doesn't work like that. I mean, I wish it did. If it was that simple in real life, like, that would be nice, I guess, but it unfortunately is not. So I didn't move the house, although it probably would have been a nice touch if we had. I also kept the flooring the same, so this house kind of uses a few packs, I'm sorry, but I liked the idea of that flooring being there. I liked how it was kind of rustic looking. I also wanted to keep light colors, like that light beige color, whites and like blues and stuff. There's also this like beachy painting that comes with kids' room stuff that I made sure to use in the bedroom upstairs. I also kept it having a ladder upstairs, which I feel like maybe isn't super ideal, but it could be considered like more of a loft space instead of an upstairs, and then I feel like it makes more sense. I don't know, I just didn't think this house was big enough to warrant having an actual staircase. I mean, the staircase would like full on take up the entire downstairs, and we just don't have the time or the ability to put that in there, so I didn't put one. Also, the upstairs is really small, so I really struggled to fit a bed up there, genuinely. Like, I had to expand it a little bit to even properly fit a functional double bed, but I figured the extension was kind of nice. I think the extension is not too unrealistic, so I let us have an extension upstairs, and we also only had the 15,000 simoleons, and because so much of the house was debug, like, we didn't even make money from selling stuff in the house, because like the bed upstairs was 25 simoleons, and like the landscaping downstairs was 0 simoleons. So a lot of times with Fixer Upper, I come in with like a kind of high budget because I can just delete a lot of furniture and then have a ton more money. But with this house, because it was all debug, we had like nothing to work with. So I was really nervous about trying to do that. I think we managed to make it work. I didn't like struggle for budget that much. I think we ended up having like a couple hundred simoleons left at the end though, so we were definitely cutting it a little bit close. By the way, if you want to download this house, the original version or my finished ones, the username is Griffy on the gallery, just Griffy. I'll have that listed down below for the original version, and then mine is just lilsimsie if you want my version. Honestly, I would pick the original version over mine. I think that it turned out cute. I liked having the storyline of it, but I don't think I'm all that good at building in The Sims. I feel like whenever I do these things and I compare like my work to the original, I'm like, I just made it worse. Like, sure, I cleaned it up, but it's objectively worse. It's like less creative, it's less fun, it looks worse, like it's just not a better version. Anyway, another priority of mine, because I was trying to make this into like a vacation home, right? Like I was gonna call it an Airbnb. Obviously, we don't actually have Airbnbs in The Sims, but in my little vision, in my little dream world, this is an Airbnb, and you can come stay in it for like 80 bucks a night to go to the beach. It isn't the nicest beach, is why I say. I mean, it's like all rocky in the water, like it's cold in Brittleton Bay, it rains every day. It isn't the most ideal beach location, so that's why it's, you know, kind of a cheap house to rent. But because it's like this rentable beach house, I wanted to make sure there was like a couple more amenities. So upstairs I managed to fit an extra half bathroom, because I was thinking, like, if you're staying in this place and you're living upstairs, like sleeping in the bedroom, you have to go down a ladder in the middle of the night to get to the bathroom. Like, that would be a nightmare. So I managed to fit an extra half bath, and it kind of worked out really well, like location wise. So there's just like a toilet and a sink upstairs, but that way, like, you can brush your teeth near the bed. If you need to pee in the night, you don't need to like die on a ladder, because I feel like personally, if I try to go down the ladder in the dark, it would not go well for me. I'm a very clumsy person. I'm not taking any risks. And we had the like space and money for that extra half bath, so I was like, yeah, let's do that. So it's a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath house. There isn't a shower up there, but you don't need one. I also thought about putting a shower outside, like an outdoor shower by the beach, but I didn't know like where to put it or how to fit it well, because like the yard is kind of weird. It's still kind of overgrown when I finish it, and like there wasn't a very clear like, here's the spot for the outdoor shower. Like, I didn't know how to fit it, and then I didn't have enough money, and I was like, forget it, never mind. So I just didn't put one. I definitely considered it though. I did prioritize some other like outdoor things. Like, there's like a fire pit, there's an easel, there's like some rocking chairs, there's a table outside, there's another table outside, there's like some towels in the front yard. We got a grill. Like, we've got all these outdoor things, which I think is pretty good. I managed to squeeze a lot of them on that back porch, and it was funny because I was streaming this on Twitch. I do a lot of my builds on Twitch. I'll link my channel down below if you want to watch it. I'll be live tonight actually doing more Fixer Upper, but my whole chat kept being like, put a rocking chair on the front porch, put a rocking chair on the front porch, and I was like, first of all, there's no space on the front porch for a rocking chair, and second of all, if you've got this amazing beautiful beach house, the backyard has this amazing view of the ocean, and you want me to put a rocking chair on the front porch that can see the highway? Where are your priorities, chat? But like, people kept spamming like, put it on the front porch, and I respect the vibes of like a rocking chair on the front porch. I just feel like this is probably not the best fit for a house that would have a rocking chair on the front porch. Because like I mean, if you're gonna sit outside, you're sitting in the backyard. Like, you're gonna watch the ocean, not not the cars drive by. I think I like that about this house a lot. Like Miss Griffey put that little sunroom in the back that I turned into the dining room. It just has like a 2-seater table, so dining room is kind of a strong word. But I love that sunroom with the huge windows. I think that's so realistic for a house like this to have these like enormous windows looking out in the back because you've got this amazing view of the ocean. Honestly, I love Brindleton Bay. I think it's one of like the best worlds in The Sims 4. It's so pretty. I love the idea of it, like the weather, how it's all rainy and cold all the time. Like I really enjoy Brindleton Bay. I think it's a nice place. I wish that we had the ability to like have your Sims go on vacation to existing worlds. Because if you lived in like Oasis Springs and you wanted to take a trip up to Brindleton Bay and have your Sims stay in like a vacation home like this, that would be super cool. Like I would love that. And there are kind of things you could do. Like you could bring your dogs to the dog park and like stay in this vacation home. Like that would be totally reasonable, I feel like. I just wish that we had more ability to do something like that. I feel like obviously Sulani is maybe a better fit for that sort of thing. Like you want to have this vacation home in Sulani and have your Sims go visit and stay there on the beach. But I think the same goes for like all of the worlds. Like if you're from Windenburg and you want to go visit Oasis Springs, like I think that'd be totally cool to be able to do that. And I feel like I would use other worlds so much more often. And also like sometimes maybe you could pretend like, oh, my Sims mom lives in whatever world. I'm gonna go rent a house nearby and like visit her. I like the idea of that. I like the realism of that. Obviously in The Sims, like it's so easy to travel back and forth between your world and like another world. You could do a little day trip and like go to the beach in Sulani and then go home afterward. But I like the idea of like renting a beach house for the weekend and having my Sims stay there for a couple days. I just wish that I could realistically play that way. I mean, we can't have hotels yet, maybe someday. But we do have like the capability for vacation rentals in the game. I feel like there's probably mods for that, but I want it actually in the game. I'm just gonna complain until I get everything in the game. I mean, it's possible. Plus, that way you could kind of fake a resort. I mean, I sort of fake resorts already. Like sometimes I'll build like maybe a fancy spa that actually has bedrooms in it. And then you can pretend that your Sims can stay there. Because your Sims can sleep over on public lots. Like if you put a bed in the top of a bar, your Sims can sleep there. Like that's totally fine. So like I have, for example, I turned the museum in Brindleton Bay into like some sort of bed and breakfast. And I put bedrooms upstairs and like a bar area downstairs. And your Sims can actually sleep there. So you can kind of pretend that it's like a resort area. Plus, if it's a community lot like that, like if it's like a bar or something, it'll actually have other Sims coming to it. So it kind of feels more lively, but it's not actually a hotel. I want to like actually stay in a hotel. I loved The Sims 3 Island Paradise. Like I loved how hotels worked in that pack. They were rabbit holes, so it was kind of annoying, but they had like suites, so you could build your own custom hotels. Like I just loved Island Paradise. It was kind of buggy. It didn't route very well. Like that whole world kind of sucked, but they had hotels and you could run a hotel. Like I loved that so much. Like I lived for that pack when I was younger. I used to play with it all the time. Like it had mermaids, it had hotels. It was this like beautiful beach world. I was obsessed with it. I used to play it so much. When did that pack come out? Let me Google it. Island Paradise. Launch trailer in 2013. I wasn't even that young. June 2013. I mean, I was majorly into The Sims back then. And I was obsessed with Island Paradise. That was like one of the first packs I actually bought too. I had pets and I had Island Paradise. I like played The Sims 3 for so long with no packs. And then when Island Paradise came out, I was like, Mom, please, I need this. I need this so bad. Like I loved it. It was beautiful. And now look at me. I hate mermaids in The Sims. But back then, when I was 13, oh, I was into it. I was so into it. I used to watch so many Sims YouTubers back then. I mean, I still watch a lot of Sims YouTube, but I feel like it's different now. Because, like, I kind of do it to, like, watch my friends. Whereas back then, I was, like, an obsessive fan of Sims YouTube. And I used to be so jealous of all these Sims YouTubers because they had all the Sims 3 store content. And the Sims 3 store content was so cool, but it was so expensive. Like they would full on charge you like $5 for a set of 2 chairs. I'm not kidding. Like that's like barely an exaggeration, by the way. If you go look at the store content, you'll have like a 400 point set for like 3 chairs and a towel. And 400 points is $4. So like it was absurdly expensive back then on the Sims 3 store. They made like DLC like every week and it would cost so much money. People sit here acting like Sims 4 is expensive. The Sims 3 was ridiculous. Sims 4 is still expensive, but like in the grand scheme of things, like the Sims 4 to have every item of content is so much cheaper. You literally couldn't own the entire Sims 3 store. Plus, if you did, your game wouldn't run. it like wouldn't work properly. But they also had so much content that it would have been like ridiculous. You could never afford all of it. And I guess the point isn't to afford all of it, but like there were some items that were so cool. Like there was this like toddler set where they had this little like playpen for toddlers and this little like walker for toddlers, and you could put your toddlers in them and it would teach them how to walk and talk for you. Plus in the little playpen they could like befriend other toddlers. I used to love that so much. Like I would watch like Life Simmers Generations Let's Play and be like, oh my god, I need that thing. I eventually bought it, by the way. Now I, as an adult with money, can have it. But like back then when I was like 14, I was like, I want this so bad. It was like my dream was to have this little toddler set. I feel like if you've been around since the Sims 3 days, you know what I'm talking about. But oh, I wanted it so bad. But like just to buy that little set was like ridiculously expensive. Also, I haven't been talking about the build this whole time. I'm sorry. It's almost close. It's almost done. You'll see that I'm changing the entire color scheme right here at the end. I was kind of waiting to address that, but I felt like it didn't look beachy enough. I was really struggling with like, what color should I paint the roof? I want to have this like thatched roof. I want to have the metal roof. I don't know what to pick. And I ended up going for just full beige. Like before I had this blue and white and beige and gray, like weird color scheme. And then right at the end, I was like, make everything beige. And you know what? I kind of feel like it works. I feel like most of the time I don't like this sort of thing, but it's all this kind of light sandy color. Well, various shades of a light sandy color, and I kind of like it. I feel like it turned out kind of cute. I don't know, I feel like it looks like a lot of things I've built before. It's definitely what many of you would call a beige suburban. Except it's not a suburban house, it's a beach house, so it's different. And honestly, I think it's cute. I know I used quite a few packs, like I can see for a fact I've got like cats and dogs and island living and nifty knitting and like all of these other things and like get together. I used a bunch of packs, so for that I'm sorry. I needed to do the beach house justice, and I think I did that somewhat. It definitely is a little bit beige, but listen, I feel like it works. I don't know if this kind of thing would work on most houses, but I feel like it works on this one. Even like the little gray overhang kind of pulls out the gray on the inside of the windows, and like it all just kind of brings it together. I liked the idea of having a colorful front door, but because the house was so oddly shaped, like that door that I use is the best one that actually fit the space. The other doors all look too small. Like I wanted to use like maybe like the nifty knitting door because it's so bright and colorful and cute, but then it just looked so tiny out there that I didn't know if I could make it work. So I ended up not placing it. I did use some more debug flowers to like brighten up the place. I moved that gravestone from the backyard so many times. Like I was just up and digging up that grave and reburying it constantly. So to the previous owners of this home, I'm really sorry. That is my bad. You didn't deserve to not be able to rest peacefully. But now you've got a beautiful new house and you're gonna have constant guests coming to disturb you as well in the future. It's kind of scary. Well, anyway, the house is just about done now. Shall we replace this lot with the newer version, just so we can take a look at what it looks like? Maybe not move objects on, please. I don't know if we can afford that. Let me give myself some money. I don't know if we can afford the new one. Here is my version of the Beach Shack Reno. You can see it looks a little bit different. It's a little bit cleaner, even though I feel like it's just a little bit worse than the original house. I definitely think this is something that would actually happen. Like, I feel like if an investor actually came in and bought this property, they'd probably do something similar to this. And you know what? I think it still looks cute. So you can see around the house, I mostly kept some of the landscaping. I just sort of cleaned it up a little bit. I put some more flowers. We've got like a table and chairs and a grill. The backyard's got so many things on this porch. There's a fire pit down here and a trash can. And like, when you actually come inside, I think it looks so welcoming, by the way, just by the way. But then in here, I kept the layout mostly the same. Like the kitchen's still here. I broke down this wall that was here before and now we can see open into the living room. There isn't a TV or anything, but I feel like you probably wouldn't need that. Like, you're not coming here to watch TV. You're coming here to like watch this. You came here to see the view, which by the way, I think looks great. The bathroom is still really small, just in this corner over here. And then if you go upstairs, except up ladder, there's a void, but it's actually the second floor, which is small, but I feel like it works. I did some cute things. Like, I liked having this little dresser nook. I liked having a desk. I figured you could bring your laptop and like get some work done. I also liked the idea of like, if you came here, maybe they asked you to bring a postcard from where you're from and like put it up on the board so you could see who else come to visit. I liked the idea. I thought that was kind of cute. I don't know. We've got a nice double bed. There's like a bookshelf. Again, there's that half bathroom that I was talking about upstairs. And I put this like avocado rug because it kind of matched the colors on this beach thing. I liked this room. My Twitch chat hated this rug. They were like, it's so ugly. But I thought it kind of fit. I couldn't get like a regular rug to fit, and then the fact that my whole Twitch chat was calling it ugly made me feel really inclined to keep it. So I'm sorry if you don't like it, but like what, no other rugs would have fit in here properly. It's like a weird shaped room. There's like corners everywhere and like ladders and stuff. It just didn't work. I personally like the avocado rug, so I'm sorry if you hate it, but that's a you problem. And that's the house. Like I said, I'll link Miss Griffey's channel down below. Go watch the original speed build. It's so much better than mine. And on that note, I'm gonna go. So I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody. By the way, if you want to make me a house for Fixer Upper, post it on the gallery with the hashtag #FixMeLilsimsie. Make a story, give me a budget, make me something weird, and I'll try and renovate it for you.